Hello, welcome in Blender. I want everything to be like a procedural, but I also want to have the user to have control to it. So um, in 2014, I have this question at Sverchok GitHub about spider. This is kind of thing that I was thinking. If we were to design a spider, how do we do that? Um, at one point I was actually having this idea to do this kind of thing. So instead of drawing the spider leg using grease pencil and then kind of resampling each line of the leg, for example, I rather make it more like a fan, because this one kind of give you the ability to control the segment ratio. We know that the limbs of spiders or other creatures have like a certain ratio in order to make it believable, even though this segment and this segment and this segment is almost like equal, but being able to create the segment ratio really quick using grease pencil is one thing. So I also have this another idea where I'm just using like a bunch of circle to generate this kind of spider. um, so I'll try to explain what I have. Basically, this GitHub has some really good example from Sverchok developer, but this is pretty old. I have to update it. I'm not designing like super realistic spider. If I actually manage to design a spider, it should probably looks like this Japanese giant statue of spider. It looks like, yeah, it's a like stylistic looking spider. It doesn't need to be realistic. I like this kind of design. So yeah, I made a quick diagram. Actually, it's looking something like this. So the design of the spider, basically you have the spine, the middle part, the head, the body, and the tail, or the back area here. So three parts here, and then spider arm. This is very bad drawing, but you get the idea here. So with the spider, my idea is to we think about the middle part and you think about the side part. With the side part, I want to draw it in grease pencil this way. This one is to control the segment, and this we can just connect the dots instead of designing the legs, like instead of drawing it like that, I'm drawing it this way because I want the segment to have ratio. This guy we can resample, but resample give you like an equal space. With the segment you have like, oh, you can have like ratio of 2 and 1, for example, and then you know, like this part may be shorter than this one, and then this one can be longer. Yes, so I think I have an example here. Blender, it's probably this one. Spider segment. Yeah, this is one of an example. It's not exactly accurate. I think with spider, the leg is actually located at the front body. The tail is separate. Something like that. This is like super basic. But you see, I started by drawing this grease pencil line, and then I'll explain real quick what happened. Currently, we have a result that's live, and oh, that's actually for the body part. But I have one part at the bottom here, I think. Oh, that's controlling the mirror. The one that's I'm interested in is this bit. So there's the middle part, and then just look at the leg here. I can control the height of the leg, and then the second one, actually the middle part, I can, you know, make it looks like that, or shoulder, and then the bottom part. So basically these three lines being resampled. I'll better just start from scratch. Let's have a look. Imagine the middle part, the green is for the body. We can think about that later, but for the leg we just gonna draw like something like a van using grease pencil, something like that. This is gonna generate our spider leg. Convert grease pencil to curve, and we don't want that link strokes, turn off, and hide the grease pencil. File, save as. This is gonna be the spider leg ratio. So we have this curve, one side of the spider. We don't need. We can just mirror the spider leg later. I'll jump to Sverchok, object spin, get our curve. Currently the curve is totally flat, but we know the spider have at least 3 segments. So we get the curve, and then by result we have this bunch, a lot of points. We can separate this curve first of all. So we have here we have like a 3 objects. You can see here it's separated into 3 different curves. If we use vector interpolation MK3, we get this, and we can do sampling, range float 0 to 1, and sample it how many times we want. Yeah, first of all we get something like this, but like I said, we don't design the spider leg this way. We don't want like an equal spider leg limb segment. We don't want equal space. We want it to do it this way, in this direction. So spider has 4 legs, so we want to do it this way, and later on we can just, you know, connect the dots. And do it this way. If I use the UV connection here and try to just do it in that directions, by default it doesn't seem to work. So I need to use a list flip, I believe. List flip level 1. Let me have a think. I basically want to make a connection like that. Oh, there you go. There you go. I just need to turn on the edge. It's already worked. If I bake it, we actually have the curve. This is like imagine a spider legs, and then it's kind of flat at the moment on the ground. So this is the curve that we create using grease pencil, and then the blue lines is generated using Sverchok, but they are all flat at the moment, and we don't want them to be flat, so we need to kind of push it up. For that we probably need a vector math. In like this, vector in. This is what we have by default, but what we really want is to be able to control this the first part, middle part, and the last part, kind of controlling the height. So for that, I think we need this input. Let's try this. There you go, it's starting to work. This part for the body, and that's for the last part. What would be nice is to have ability to change the distance of this 1, 2, 3, 4, like depending on what kind of spider, I think, but I guess it's kind of okay for now. The next thing we want to do is to perhaps test it with skin measure. So skin measure is something that I like to use for this, because it generates instantly generates like a solid cylinder like this, and you have control over the thickness. So this is can be really useful for what we are doing. For the radius, you can use math. It depends how you want to do it. Maybe we don't need to worry about this at the moment, but I can try range float. One, two, three. Okay, maybe I can just plug this in. So that's the opposite of what I want. So that's a little bit better. Now, of course, this is just a super simplistic spider. In reality, you want to have the segment. Let me draw it real quick. You have the leg segment. For example, this is a spider leg, right? You want to segment it. You have a ratio, and you want to be able to resample this part to generate the kind of proper limb, kind of like a human finger. In fact, if you learn art and then you want to draw like human hands, normally you can draw it this way, you know, like to create a segment ratio, and then based on that you starting to draw like a cylinder to represent each fingers. Yeah, so that's the idea with this. You can definitely do a resample for each legs to have more details. For now, we'll just leave it like that. This guy is already like a real object. You can just mirror it if you want. Mirror. Let's see if everything still works properly. Let's see. Okay, we have control over that thing. Okay, that's the X. Would be nice if we can spread it. I wonder if this works. Scale math, vector math, and then do the like a multiply scalar. Okay, that's kind of pushing it in all direction. I guess not what we want. We can randomize input vertices maybe. Actually not. Maybe we can go back to this original and then scale it. Actually, scale it right here. Separate vector interpolations, and then we can kind of spread it. That's kind of doing the spreading, but it's more like tuck in and then push out. Can be handy as well. I want to do it in different way actually, maybe here. Same. Maybe here. No. Well, at some point I think I'm gonna work on the middle part, like the body part, using skin modifier as well. If I have, I'm gonna save this real quick. The body part, you kind of already know how to do it. It's I open my example here. So with the body part, basically it's a single line and being rewired with vector in, and then I move it and just to place the spider properly, something like that actually. That's kind of close. And then I'm using skin modifier and list input for the segment to generate this body part. Spider actually, looking something like that. So there's some kind of curve, and then this is where the legs is actually more like in the front part. That's where the leg is. They keep it balanced using the leg, I guess. 4 legs on each side. Yeah, and then you can generate this kind of a solid form. This is like a super simple spider, by the way. You can create like enough form, and you can add details using displacement and whatnot, using texture. It can end up like pretty realistic. I've seen one example made using Houdini, where they can generate like a different spider. I think we can sort of do that in a different way. You can maybe use a shape keys to have like randomization, as long as you have like the basic design. I'm interested in maybe spider or this kind of bug. I don't know what to call it. Some kind of bug. I've seen a book full of bugs like this, and even though it's simplistic, they have like all kind of variation of the bug. Sometimes longer and then sometimes shorter. Maybe this is kind of a worth studying. Bugs, spiders, insects, or even like a caterpillar. Caterpillar should be interesting. It's very procedural in its nature. Human characters and creatures are interesting to think procedurally. Maybe even if you can't design like the whole realistic characters, but I want to start thinking about it, like thinking maybe separate. We didn't think about the detail part first, but just the basic form. Yeah, I guess it's possible. You can see here it's super simple, but everything here with the spider is actually procedural. So, and like I say, it's here is rather pretty simple, pretty basics. All you need to think is the segment ratio and how everything connects together, and also think about the form, how you can generate it using skin modifier, and you should be able to generate all kind of creature design. So I think I probably need to like a proper study and set this up more properly. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. What I want to share with you, the kind of thinking of creature designs, insect, spider, using Sverchok. Okay. yeah, hopefully you like this and find it useful. I guess I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again for tuning in. Any comments, feedbacks, just let me know. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.